Hey guys, welcome to Warhammer. We're back with another Then and Now. This time we've got a different Martin. We've got Martin Waller here. Hopefully you've already seen Martin Bland's video with his disgusting towel, and he deserved everything he got, to be honest, with the new edition, which I'm quite pleased about.
No soul.
Yeah, you know Bland. He definitely deserved that.
Yeah.
Tonight, different person, different army. Clearly, we've got Martin's Dark Eldar here. I think Dark Eldar have benefited quite a lot from 8th edition, thankfully. Always a cool army. I'm a big Eldar fan anyway. Weren't really that great in 7th. I know Lawrence did some decent work with his Eldar in the tournament scene, but if you played a fluffy list, I think they tended to get a bit smashed and hammered. And you probably experienced that a few times.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So if you haven't seen this series of videos before, what we do is we talk about his old list from 7th, we compare it to the new list in 8th, see the differences, see how the army works differently, see how they've benefited, how they've been nerfed. Luckily these guys don't seem to have been nerfed so much, although certain units have, interestingly. Mostly the ones that were spammed previously. Martin will never learn his lesson, will he?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. No.
We've got a few more images, I think, of this army than Martin's, because Martin's was a bit rubbish. And Waller's are amazingly pretty.
He's just got no class, that's his problem.
If you don't know Martin, head over to his Instagram page, Martin Waller Figure Baiter. I've mentioned it before. Give it a like, check out his stuff. Martin is a painting god. He has golden demons, a slayer sword. The stuff's amazing. I'll stick some images up of stuff that's not even related to this army, just because it's too pretty to not show you. He's so humble about it as well.
It's all right.
Horrible, horrible man. Yeah, and we'll go from there. So I hope you got the video. Let us know what you think about it in the end. Let us know what you think about his painting ability. Gwyn, keep your mouth shut.
Know your place, Gwyn. Know your place in the rankings.
Well, we might talk about Gwyn for a few minutes as well.
Yeah, chuck him in.
That needs to be a feature, I think, because
he needs to be a
Gwyn's amazing and so whingy about
the saga of Gwyn.
Yeah,
it's just never ending.
Yeah, we need a campaign to get Gwyn's stuff into Golden Demon, because he'll do okay.
Pray for Gwyn. Like
yeah, we might do like little backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Change Facebook profile pictures and what have you. We can do the whole campaign.
Filters and stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll now cut into talking about his old list, which most people know about 7th edition anyway, but I think it's a nice comparison. And so far, I don't think anyone else has done videos like this, so keep it a bit quiet. But you never know, maybe we're the only ones. Perhaps. Right, okay, so first thing we're going to do is talk about Martin's old Dark Eldar list. A bit briefly, not too much detail. Roughly what he got for 1850 points, kind of how it played, because I think a lot of the tricks you used to use, you can't use anymore.
No, a lot of the stuff's changed. I normally, with the armies and stuff like that with gaming, I only really sort of use stuff that I've painted and stuff that I like. So, you know, so when sort of spamming models and stuff like that, it doesn't really do it for me, because I'll just get bored painting the same thing over and over. You know, in 7th there was a load of Reaver spam. Everyone was spamming Dark Eldar jet bikes. I did 6, and I just thought, well, I can't be bothered doing it anymore. Yes, that's enough for me.
Lawrence has like 6 squads of 6.
Yeah, the initial plan was I think it was going to have 18, I think initially, but yeah, rather they're just sat in a case unpainted. It's just never going to happen. So yeah, the actual sort of army itself, models wise, won't have changed that much between 7th and 8th, but yeah, I think the sort of the loadouts and the war gear and all that sort of stuff is going to have changed, and obviously going into 8th, you know, the more I play it, the more I sort of understand the army and the nuances and all the rest of it. I think the more things will change. But yeah, I've played a cheeky game of 8th against Sean. Sean's Grey Knights. No doubt you'll see Sean's stuff on the channel at some point.
Hope so.
Yeah, really good guy. You know,
your little Padawan, isn't he, Sean?
He is my little Padawan.
Your apprentice.
Yeah, he's only been painted about a year, bless him, and yeah, he's gone from, I don't know, you sort of new guy to the hobby to sort of winning Golden Demon finalist pins and stuff.
Yeah, recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, the last Warhammer Fest. So yeah, he's coming along leaps and bounds, which is really good. You know, he's got a Grey Knights army that's superb. You know, he's got some stuff in there that's, you know, sort of Golden Demon finalist level. So, you know, he's coming on leaps and bounds, which is really good. So yeah, I played him up at Warhammer World after Golden Demon Winners' Day last week.
Just drops that in there.
Just chuck it in.
Just drops it in.
Day. Yeah, you know, as you do. Took him along as my +1, on my little bagman, whichever way you want to look at it. But yeah, he...
did he have to follow you around? Did you have to walk behind you?
He had to stay 5 paces behind me at all
standard.
times. Yeah, and holding up like trophies and belts, like, you know, like boxers do.
Yeah. Like a bannerman as well.
Yeah, something like that.
Fair one. Sean also knows his place.
Yeah. Macari and Gasgol from the old school, like a little grot with a banner pole. But yeah, so yeah, after that, after we'd done all that sort of stuff, we sort of went into the gaming hall and had a quick game of 8th. So yeah, it was his Grey Knights, and he runs sort of 2 Dread Knights, Land Raiders, Paladins, all sorts of stuff. So he's got a really small army, but it's really sort of high quality stuff. So I was a bit unsure as to how it was going to go. I beat him with my Blood Angels a few weeks previously to that. So
we'll hopefully do a video with them at some point as well.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd give me Dark Eldar a spin, see how they get on. Ended up bit of an annihilation.
Right, well, honest. We'll cover that.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll talk about the 7th list, roughly. Doesn't have to be exact.
Yeah.
But obviously 7th was 18, as we did with Bland, 7th was 1850 points. 8th, the sweet spot seems to be 2k, but you tend to play power level at the moment, would you say?
Yeah, the games I've played have all been power level. Just
I mean, they kind of balance at there or thereabouts the same. So
yeah.
We're talking around 2k as well. So the 1850 point list you used to play with, which if you've not seen it and you want to watch a 7th edition battle report, you might not, head on over to Visicast and Martin plays John.
Get annihilated.
And you'll see where Dark Eldar used to sit for non-competitive players.
Yeah.
Because you're not a competitive player, you're a fluffy type player, really.
No stretch of the imagination am I.
If you want to watch competitive Dark Eldar, 7th edition stuff so far, head on over and watch Lawrence's stuff at Tabletop Tactics. But like I said, these are 7th edition battle reports, so maybe you're not there at the moment, maybe you'd rather just watch 8. Anyway, 1850.
Anyway, yeah, so for 7th then, I was running an Archon with Shadowfield and Huskblade, as well as his Splinter Pistol. That came in at 125. Which was all right, he was a sort of a tough, sort of choppy kind of guy.
Reasonable.
I've never ever managed to make a save on a Shadowfield ever. I said this to Sean the other day, just laughing, going, "I've never made a save. Every time, roll a 1, every time." And he just went, bang, 1 again. So it's every time losing me Shadowfield first turn. So yeah, so the Archon was Shadowfield and Huskblade. Then got in with 4 Incubi Bodyguard for him.
Okay.
And they're all in a Venom with the double splinter cannons, because that's the only way to run them, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to run double splinter cannons with Venom.
See, Venom spam was something else we also used to see in 7th quite a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and to be fair, I've got 4, I think. And again, I sort of just got bored towards the end of it. I thought I'm going to do any more. Although they are standout units in the army. So yeah, 4 Incubi and the Archon inside of Venom. And then I've got 5 Trueborn. These guys coming in with 4 blasters coming in at 125 in 7th. And again, in a Venom. And Venom's only 65, which obviously is changed. We'll come on to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Venom's at 65. And then the squad of Scourges, 4 Haywire blasters. Haywires everywhere in 7th.
Haywire was awesome in 7th.
Yeah. Still undecided about it now. But yeah, 4 Scourges with Haywire blasters floating about. And there's only 6 Reavers, because like I say, couldn't be bothered to paint the rest. So 6 Reavers, 2 of them were cluster caltrops, because you can't take them without cluster caltrops, because they're so awesome. Yeah, but like I say, again, is likely something that's gonna change.
Yeah, the cluster caltrops are a massive change. We'll talk about that later. But they used to be an auto include, I think, for every Reaver Jetbike unit.
Definitely.
Maybe not so much now.
No, definitely not. And then from the Homunculus Covenants book, I then had the Scalpel Squadron. So it was 2 Venoms and then 2 squads of 5 Racks. Both with an Akathist, who were, so I could run 2 liquefire guns off the back of the Venom. So old school, 7th edition was the nil deployment, Scalpel Squadron coming in turn 1, and then just causing havoc. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. If you've seen the Visicast battle report,
not so well.
Not so well, no, definitely not. They were wiped out turn 1 and I lost the game. So yeah, sometimes it worked, sometimes it was very, very bad. So yeah, Scalpel Squadron, so 10 Racks, 2 Venoms. Then we got a single squad of 5 Warriors, just a sort of home field objective holding kind of thing. Sat in your own deployment zone, tucked away, looking after a little objective. So yeah, just 5 basic bog standard Warriors. Then a squad of 10 Warriors with a blaster and splinter cannon.
Okay.
They were in a Raider, which I've got a different model for. I've used like a Harlequin Void Weaver, is it? I think it is. Star Weaver.
Yeah.
One of them. One of them things.
Yeah.
So I've just stuck spikes, chains, and stuff on it because I don't particularly like the Raider model.
Do you not?
No, I think the Void Weaver sits better with the Venoms.
Yes.
Because it looks like a bit of a bigger grown-up version.
Yes.
Whereas the Raider and the Ravager is just sort of a complete detachment.
Yes.
From the Venoms, it just looks completely different.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
I'll see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, you know, well, I'll do that. You know, chains and spikes and people hanging off the sides and stuff. So yeah, I thought it'd be a bit different. But yeah, that Raider, Splinter racks, obviously twin links, all the Splinter weapons that are in there, being transported, all that stuff. And then a Razor Wing jet fighter, just stock normally. Swap out the Splinter rifle on the nose for a Splinter cannon, usually maybe, depending if I've got sort of, you know, points to chuck about. And then a Void Raven bomber. And the only reason I've got that is because it was given to me for free.
Oh, that's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, there is
Not
a bit
what,
of,
you know.
there is a bit of a story behind that. It was donated to me by the kind people at White Dwarf. I won't go into why, but needless to say, yeah, they messed up a bit. Yeah, and so I got a Void Raven bomber for free, so that was nice. So that's the only reason it's in the list, because it is a bit overcosted, I think. But yeah, and that was that really for 7th edition. Tended to do all right. You know, again, like I say, I'm not a tournament player. I'm not a sort of competitive kind of person.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really sort of go into.
I mean,
that scene.
that is a very fluffy list compared
Yeah.
to what you tended to see for Dark Eldar in 7th.
Yeah.
Really, there's a bit of everything in there. It's all a bit mixed up. I'm not being rude. It certainly isn't optimised, really, for 7th edition.
No. I mean, I had some mandrakes that I was, you know, painting up, but like I say, I'm a painter, not a gamer, so it's literally a case of what looks nice, what do I want to paint, and then that'll make it into the list rather than what's going to be the most optimal stuff to use.
And what I seem to like about 8th is it's encouraged people who are not really gamers to play the game again.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's not quite so daunting, there isn't quite so much spam and cheese about.
Yeah.
It does seem to have been balanced, and all this stuff really now is playable. And arguably the units I think that probably took the biggest hits are the ones that used to be spammed, which is nice to know.
Yeah.
But hey, what we'll do is we'll talk about how that, well, you kind of talk about how that played. We will now go on to his 8th edition list. It might be the same. And then we'll talk about how it now plays and see what the differences are, because obviously 1850 points in 7th doesn't really get you the same in 8th. Now interestingly, for Martin Bland's Tau, just combined it then,
Nice.
I might call him that from now on. Yeah. Martin Blau. For his Tau, points went up massively, so what he had before with full of upgrades at 1850 costs him now 2,000 without any upgrades. So massive changes now, but we'll go on to that in the next part. Right, so we've covered Martin's list for 7th. As you can tell, it is certainly, like I've said already, more fluffy than competitive, which I really like. I played some tournaments in 7th edition and I enjoyed them mostly, but I always preferred fluffier type lists. I think it's better when there's when the guy's kind of more invested in his army, there's a bit more of a story to it, and they've built it around perhaps a story that they've read, or some novels or something, or magazines, or images, or photos. I much prefer it when their lists are built around that. And 7th you didn't really see that a lot, especially at the tournament scene. I know you didn't really do tournaments, but I went to a few.
The reason I didn't do tournaments was because, like you say, the type of list that I'll be coming up against.
Yes,
it's just not
exactly.
You know, I'll turn up and I'll be playing, you know, 3 Wraith Knights, Scatterbikes.
You'd play a bland,
wouldn't
exactly.
you? Yeah.
No disrespect, Martin.
Yeah,
a little bit of disrespect. But that's the sort of people you and it was spamming of units.
Yeah.
So and Lawrence did very well with his Dark Eldar army, and I think sometimes in 7th you accepted the fact that if you went to a tournament you would face these lists, or people would bring these lists. I certainly accepted it. I'm not going to complain or whinge about it, but for some people that puts you off the game a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I was mainly sort of, you know, a painter rather than a gamer, and certainly sort of dipping my toe in the game and, you know, sort of going up to Warhammer World and stuff like that, and you're sort of seeing these tournaments going on and you're just seeing the same thing, you know, cookie cutter stuff just appearing, and I'm sitting there going, do I really want to be getting involved in that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Probably not. But, you know, certainly now with 8th, you know, it's something I actually, you know,
yeah,
maybe sort of have a look at that.
I think there's a lot of people been brought back to the game because of 8th.
Yeah, definitely. It's it does seem a lot more fun.
Yeah,
than it was. But like I say, you know, I'd never really sort of got into the tournament scene or really sort of played, you know, many people outside of our little sort of gaming group. So yeah, didn't sort of get that much exposure to it. Maybe it's sort of me stereotyping somewhat, but you know, you sort of
stereotypes exist for a reason. In all walks of life.
Yeah, definitely. But so yeah, you know, sort of the idea of, you know, pick-up games and tournaments and stuff like that. Certainly in 7th, you know, for me was, you know, no, it's just not my scene. Whereas now, definitely, you know, it's something I might sort of want to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially along sort of, you know, sort of like narrative sort of campaigns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, stuff that you can really get your teeth into and buy into.
And I think if they continue to chuck out these FAQs every time something proves itself a little broken.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of whinging actually online. Obviously I've been trawling pages and stuff because I like to have information for you guys and some decent content. I've seen a lot of whinging online already that there's a couple of FAQs out and the game's only a month old. Let's be fair, this is the same company that back in 7th edition we all complained didn't care about the game once it was released, released this rule set, which was evidently quite broken in a number of ways. Things like invisibility, game infinity, all that kind of stuff that was going on, toes in cover, etc., etc. We've discussed some previous videos already. And we whinged that they never fixed it, and it remained broken and was exploited by people. And if rules are there to be exploited, then at the tournament scene that's certainly going to happen. Now, within a month, GW have released 2 FAQs for the new rule set. I'm personally fully behind this.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the second something proves broken, and to be perfectly honest with you, and this might be harsh, this might even lose me friends and fans. If you're going to be the sort of person to go out and spam a broken unit and exploit that rule, I don't think you can cry when Games Workshop then come and nerf it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because it's your own fault for trying to exploit the rules in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
That's personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, it may well be that person, you know, gets some enjoyment out of, you know, running that list or whatever, but you know,
yeah.
I don't think the opponents get that much enjoyment out of it, and you know, from my point of view, you know, if you're going to play a game, you want both people to enjoy it.
Yes, of course.
Know, I certainly wouldn't want to be playing against 5 Imperial Knights or, you know, sort of Wraith Knight, Scatterbite, Spam or whatever.
I can lose and enjoy the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
As long as I'm not whitewashed in 2 turns, then I can lose and enjoy the game.
Yeah, definitely. As long as I've had fun. You know, the dice god's always going to go against you every now and again, especially with Shadow Fields. You know, just seems to be a running joke with my lot. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things, and I think, you know, it comes down to personality, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you're going to take it hyper seriously and, you know, get carried away, at the end of the day, it's toy soldiers with dice. You can't, you know, mitigate for everything. You know, you can try and, you know, sort of hedge the odds in your favour, but you know, sometimes you are just going to roll that one. You are going to roll, you know, your 6 for your leadership or whatever.
And that should be part of what we love about the game, is that randomness with using D6 is part of what we should love about the game. And certain armies were able to stack things in certain ways in the old edition, I feel, that removed that random element completely from some armies. I know certainly for my Eldar I could do it. A couple of friends in their Tau were able to do it, and there were other lists in there as well. John and his Ravenwing in 7th, they were by no means completely broken, because if you had Ignore's cover, then they tended to fail. But when you were having Black Knights with 2+ rerollable Jinx saves.
Yeah, and it's just endless rerollable stuff. You know.
Not having a dig at John, because clearly when you can't against Ignore's cover, he's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it wasn't that bad, but that's the sort of thing you could stack up to almost broken levels of power.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to be sort of lucky in a way that, you know, I brought along loads of stuff that, you know, Ignore's cover, and I'll be matched up with you, who relies on you know, the cover save. So, you know, it's a difficult one. But
I mean, look at things like, I don't know if you are aware, I'm sure you probably are, things like Screamer stars that existed with Zinch, with Screamers and the Grimoire, etc., and they ended up with 2+ rerollable and vulnerable saves, for God's sake. I mean, that wouldn't help you, rolling ones on Shadow Fields.
No, and I think I'm well past saving with Shadow Fields. I think me and Shadow Fields are done.
Yeah.
You know, but I get them as standard now, so you know, I don't have to pay 40 points for it anymore.
Fair enough.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I know that when Martin played his brother Tristan, he made a bucket ton of 2+ Shadowfield saves, never failed one.
Yeah.
I know he had 2 Wraith Knights stamping on the Archon, traditional bland. And I think Tristan made them all. Anyway, we've digressed a little bit because we're talking hobby, and I love it because that's the whole point in this channel, is just to talk hobby. So we'll now go on to his new 8th edition list. I suspect it's very similar to 7th, because I think Dark Eldar in some places got some points drops, other places got some slight point increases, so I actually think it probably sits at not far off the same kind of points cost.
Yeah, not a million miles off.
And arguably, because of the way it's built, it will be just as much fun, it will be more fun in 8th than it ever was in 7th, so we'll just go on to this list, see if anything has changed, see if he's planning on any changes, because remember the edition's only like a month old.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about the big major changes that's happened with Dark Eldar, things like power from pain and combat drugs, etc.
Yeah, cool. So again, like I say, I'm mainly about, you know, what I've got painted, what looks pretty. So, you know, Archon again, he's going to make an appearance. Comes with a Shadowfield and a Husk.
I know.
Comes as stock with that.
Not that it helps you.
Not that
at least you have to pay for it.
Yeah, it did gall somewhat that I was paying 40 points for a save that I was never making. So yeah, that cut me quite deep. But yeah, he's dropped from 125 in 7th down to 79
Okay.
in 8th. So it's quite a substantial drop, considering he's got the same kit. Incubi, I'm going to have to tinker with, because I can only take 5 according to the new book, or the index book. Whereas before it was a minimum of 3, you can add as many as you want.
Right.
Now, minimum of 5. So I'm going to have to tinker with that.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a pain, because I can no longer have me 4 Incubi with me Archon and me Venom. So
Are they 5 transport capacity of 5 then?
Yeah.
Ah,
So
that sucks.
I'm either going to have to sack it or buy another Venom. Probably going to buy another Venom. Endless Venoms. But yeah, speaking of Venoms, Venoms have gone up in price. In 7th with the twin splinter cannons, 65 points.
Yeah.
Now 80. So
Not a million miles away.
not a huge jump, but still, you know, I'm sort of thinking, oh wow, you know, they've obviously sort of tried to address, you know, the sort of...
Yeah, I mean, across the 4
Venoms.
Venoms, you've almost paid for another Venom in 7th.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, I mean, it has got, you know, sort of, I think, slightly more resilient. Certainly
Yes.
the games I played, it
Oh,
was
vehicles.
a million times
The
more.
vehicles have massively benefited
Yeah,
from
I mean,
8th.
in 7th it was just, you know, sort of papier mâché, just getting shot down by, you know, all sorts of nonsense. And it's like, really, why am I bothering with this?
Yes.
But, you know, now I think, yeah, they're a lot more resilient, albeit you have to get a lot closer now with Venoms. Because of the splinter cannons, the way they've done it, they changed it to, you know, instead of like a salvo weapon, I think it was before, it's now a rapid fire weapon. So yeah, with a range of, I think it's 32 or 36, yeah, you're having to get within sort of, you know, 18 inches. So you're sort of getting into danger zone,
yeah.
You know, to really make the most of it. So yeah, the resilience is sort of, you know, it's welcomed. The Trueborn with they were with blasters last time, but I'm toying with the idea of getting Dark Lances in for this.
Dark Lances are evil in 8th edition, aren't they?
Yeah, really savage. -4 armour, D6 damage, I think they are.
Yes.
Horrendous.
They're the last cannons of the Dark Eldar world.
Essentially, yeah, and they're only a few points more than the blasters. So
wow.
yeah, you know, them floating around in a Venom.
And it's open top, so you can fire out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful.
So you know, they may well be getting upgraded to Dark Lances shortly, but we'll have to see.
Okay, so we're going to add some Dark Lances, possibly.
Yeah, potentially. I just think they're a bit more hard hitting. I mean, blasters, yeah, they're a few points cheaper, but again, you haven't got the range. You know,
and with the D6 damage, I mean, I'm not sold on D6 damage at the moment. I use last cannons on my Chaos Land Raider, and I played Jonathan Physicast, and I blew his flyer out the sky turn 1 with 2 6s on the damage, which is amazing, clearly. But at the moment, I'm much more sold on a flat 3 damage than I am a D6.
Yeah.
Because it's regular. Because if you have a D6 damage and 5 turns you roll 5 1s, you get 5 damage over the whole game.
For that as well.
Yeah.
So.
If you've got a flat 3 damage over 5 turns, you may cause 15. So, but having said that, it's done okay, and I suppose there's command points to reroll and stuff.
Yeah.
And the range alone means they're not quite so fragile.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm not, because obviously the blaster's 18.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and if you're having to use, you know, your twin splinter cannons to get to 18 anyway to get the main benefit, you know, you think, well, maybe I'll take blasters anyway. But you know, it's something to ponder. I think. Let us know in the comments what you think. You know, if you're a Dark Eldar player, you know, let me know, because I need all the help I can get. Because I'm
not at painting though. Don't help them with that.
Yeah, give me a hand at painting. If you've got any tips, yeah, get involved. But yeah, tactics and games, not so much. But yeah, if you've got any ideas, you know, feel free to let me know. I need all the help I can get. So yeah, they're the Trueborn. Scourges, I'll keep the Scourges in. I've got another squad to paint, which I probably will get around to painting. But it's just the wings. The wings break me.
Do they? They are very pretty wings.
The wings, yeah.
We'll have a picture up now, hopefully, if I can edit it.
Yeah,
which is a lottery in itself. They are very pretty.
The wings took its toll, and I think anyone that sort of knows me or knew me at the time when I was painting them, I became quite an antisocial person. That
doesn't sound like you.
A bit of a social hand grenade. It's like, I was on the edge when painting them wings. But yeah, so I mean, if I can do it in the squad, then I probably will. And again, you know, 7th I was running with Haywire blasters, but I think with the rules to Haywire now changing, I think it's on a 4+, it's a mortal wound, I think.
Yeah, so it's different. So I run a squad of Haywire breaches in my cult mech, and for them, if they target a unit with the vehicle keyword, because obviously keywords are now massive in 8th, if they target a unit with the vehicle keyword, instead of a single wound, they do D3 wounds, or D3 damage, I should say, not wounds, D3 damage, which is for Haywire, I think that's quite good. I was reading the Eldar type Haywire stuff only because I was flicking through the Harlequins, and I'm assuming yours is the same.
Yeah.
So now with them, if you roll a 4 for Harlequins, I know for definite. If you roll a 4+, you get a mortal wound in addition to any damage caused, and a 6+ is D3 mortal wounds. I don't know if yours is the same. So on the face of it, it looks like it could be really good. But you're fishing for those 6s, I suppose, really.
Yeah, again, you know, it's like the odds when you're looking for your rends, you know, and sort of hedging everything in your rends and trying to get the 6s.
I do like it. I do think Haywire in the old edition was maybe a bit too strong.
Yeah.
So I do like it. I'm not whinging about Haywire, I do like it, but I think it's less of an auto take now.
Yeah, exactly. Like in 7th, you know, it was a case of, right, well, I'm taking, you know, Scourges, well, they're going to have Haywire blasters because they're going to deep strike behind a tank and annihilate it from behind. That's just how it went. You know, same with the Stern Guard. You know, melter guns and combi melters, deep strike, shoot everything in the back, job done. Yeah. Whereas now there's a bit more sort of, you know, certainly from my point of view, I'm sort of thinking about it a bit more. You know, sort of thinking, well, maybe, you know, blasters might be the way to go, or again, dark lances, just smash dark lances out all over the place. You know, being heavy, you know, it's only -1 to hit now.
I do think dark lances are filth now. Not in a bad way, not like in a broken cheese way. Yeah. I just think they used to be ignored a little bit.
But yeah, there was sort of, you know, you look at them and go, you know, it's pretty pants, you know, in 7th. Whereas now, I'm looking at it thinking, actually, I might have a bit of a resurgence of dark lances. From the
majority of the Eldar, Dark Eldar specifically, and even Harlequins, heavy weapons in 7th edition on infantry were not worth it. Because you need to keep moving because you're so fragile, you've glass cannons everywhere. So to move, you would then snap firing at 6s. Yeah. What's the point in paying the points for those weapons?
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're spending, I think it's 20 points for a Dark Lance.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're banging out 20 points over 4 guys, so that's another 80 points invested in that unit. That are still, you know, even with their ghost plate armour, you know, they're still fragile. They're still going to get absolutely spanked.
Yeah.
You know, so I think now, you know, -1 to hit, even if you get, you know, dropping an arrow for 1 turn, you know, they've got the extended range. You can smash stuff, and you know, if needs be, because they've got the extra movement, you can start moving around a few tactical objectives and all the rest of it. So, yeah, that's something I think, you know, I'll probably look at. You know, I'll try it with dark lances, and then try it with blasters, and see if there's sort of much in it. Yeah, and then sort of go from there. And like I say, if I can get another unit, then yeah, if I can summon the will to paint another unit, then I might chuck them on.
I'd paint it for you.
Paint it for me if you want. I don't know if they'll make the list, but
right, thanks.
they might not get on the table.
Cut me deep.
You get Gwyn to paint them. That's your usual MO. Getting Gwyn to paint your armies for you.
He wins, by the way. You know, we've already spoke about the fact that Gwyn's painted my model. I've already thanked him. I'm not going to keep thanking him because
we talk about him enough on the channel.
Yeah, he gets enough face time.
He does.
This is why Martin's on so early, because he was so upset that in the first video I didn't mention him at all. Actually
livid.
Yeah, see.
Still not over it. But anyway, Reavers.
Now they have been smashed.
Yeah,
mate, I think.
Yes.
I really want to take some because I'm building a Ynnari list.
Yeah.
And I still really want to take some just because I love the models. But whereas in 7th, in Ynnari and even in Dark Eldar, they were an auto take.
Definitely. Like I said earlier, I had loads of them, you know, sort of built, paid for, good to go. And I just thought, you know, well, I'll get 6 done for my list and all the rest of it. And then couldn't be bothered to do the rest. Whereas now, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, well, you know, if they're good in 8th, then I'll get the rest done, happy days. But I'm looking at it thinking, no, you know, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, and I, you know, from my point of view, you know, as a predominantly a painter, I'm thinking, well, all that time and effort I'll invest into painting this unit, and they were quite a pain to paint, to get wiped off the board.
Yes.
As quick as they inevitably will do.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean the game I played with Sean with the Grey Knights, probably not the best tactical move that I've ever made. In that, you know, I thought, you know, go old school. You know, yeah, Reavers quality. Yeah, I'll go charging Grey Knight Terminators. Yeah, why not? Didn't work out well. It's foolish. No. Naive.
Grey Knights have been buffed, Terminators have been buffed.
Yeah, so yeah, that Overwatch didn't go well for me.
Oh really?
Yeah, endless. I think it was a squad of 10 Grey Knight Terminators.
Ouch.
All with Stormbolters and like side cannons.
They're like 4 shots each now, aren't they, Stormbolters?
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Yes, massively. I think I lost 2 on the way into the combat.
Out of 3? Out of 6?
6.
Oh, okay, about the same.
Yeah, so horrendous. So Yeah, they're not as they were, with the old school, you cluster caltrops, you're banging in with, your hammer of wrath, strength 6 rending, all this sort of stuff. I think it was D6 hits in addition to your normal hammer of wrath.
Something like that.
And, it's just nuts. Whereas now, not so much.
No.
It doesn't sort of do it for me. The grav talon angle is better, I think. Off the top of my head, I think it's if a unit falls back from a combat with a unit that's got grav talons, they take more wounds.
Okay.
So that could be a bit more of a one to consider rather than the cluster caltrops now. But
see, I think now they have a completely different place in the list. So I can see them now being used predominantly to go and get objectives quickly for Maelstrom type games and what have you. And they can dish out some firepower and they can handle themselves to a point. Whereas there used to be a unit that would certainly rush the enemy and hit them hard with as many bikes as you could as quick as possible, especially the cluster caltrops like you mentioned. So now I think that they're going to be more used as a mobile objective getter. And I question, when you've got Scourges and Venoms, whether you really need that.
Well, yeah, this is it. I mean, what I used to do in 7th as well was just have them as a big distraction. Because obviously people knew how lethal they were in combat. So, I'd just sort of split my little 6 up into little 2 units of 3 and then just send them on a big sort of loop around a board. And everyone's going, oh, what's he doing? What's going on here? So they're always sort of second guessing you and all the rest of it. I had no idea what they were doing. They were just flying about.
And that hasn't changed?
No. It's just pointless, just doing a lap of the board and everyone's going, oh my god, he's got some crazy plan. No, didn't have a clue. Just chuck them around, just for a laugh. Just for, fluff,
Yeah.
And a race.
Yeah.
Death race.
Just flying around.
Gangs of Camorra and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like I say, I'm not going to do any more Reavers. Maybe the Dark Eldar Codex when it comes out will change that maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going to be in that book? But we shall see. But certainly not going to do any more. The next set then we spoke about before was a Scalpel Squadron. That was like
the racks.
The specific thing from the Homunculus Covens book. So it was like a specific detachment or data slate, whatever you called it. That's how amateur I am. No idea.
Yeah.
It was 2 units of Racks and 2 Venoms, and that essentially gave you the ability to deep strike turn 1.
Yes.
So, you could nil deploy everything, just have your Racks turn up turn 1, hope and pray that they survive. Most of the time they did. Sometimes, when they're being filmed, they didn't, and I was made to look.
I know that feeling.
Made to look very, very silly. But Racks, love them, love the models. Chuck me Venoms, love Venoms. So yeah, match made in heaven. Happy days. Before, your 5 Racks with 2 liquefire guns, because why not?
Yeah, they were good.
Liquefire guns were ridiculous, or still are. With 2 liquefire guns, 5 Racks came in at 90 points, plus your 65 for the Venom. So not overly too bad, 155. I think now your 5 Racks with 2 liquefire guns is 76 instead of 90. So it's a bit of a points drop. Yeah. But you're still paying 80 for the.
So you've lost about 15 points from the Vracks and gained about 15.
Yeah, so overall it's not
about the same.
Yeah, it's about the same. So
what's 1 point over?
Yeah, and what I like about these new indexes is that I don't have to mess around sort of working stuff out. Add 10 points and you can have an Akathist, and the Akathist can have it from this list, and it can do this and that. Yeah. It's you're losing yourself on all these books. Whereas now, Akathist comes complete with the squad. So yes. It's like, okay, well I'll just buy 2 liquefire guns. One for the Akathist and 1 for the guy. Happy days. Stick them in your Venom, fire out of Venoms. Now templates are gone, so it's all just sort of D6 auto hits. It's just savage, and you still roll in for your armor penetration value. So whereas before, you'd roll in the old game, you'd roll for your AP value.
Yes.
So if you rolled a 1, great, it's AP 1. Whereas now you roll in your armor value modifier. So it's
I
think sort of setup.
I think the armor value modifier in 8th is significantly better than it ever was in 7th, and I'll explain. In 7th, AP6 and to a degree AP5 weapons were ultimately pointless. Everybody was hunting for the AP2 and 3. Some armies had a lot of AP4, which was still semi-decent against other armies like Eldar and what have you. But AP6 was pointless. Orcs having a 6-up save, I don't really care if they got that or not. It might save the odd boil or 2. However, in the new edition, the worst case scenario being AP minus, well I say worst case scenario is AP nothing, which existed previously in 7th anyway. But AP minus 1, which I argue is the equivalent to AP6, is so much better now, because it means Terminators, for example, are a 3+ save.
Yeah.
So it actually affects stuff whereas in the old AP6 it never affected anything. So even if you roll the equivalent to what was a 1 now on the liquefied gun, so a 6...
Yeah, it's still actually working.
Well, whichever one it is. Yeah, if you roll a 1 now, you still get a minus AP, which is amazing, I think, compared to where it was before.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, you're right. So yeah, same sort of points. Happy days.
Yeah.
It's
probably improved, really? Probably.
Yeah, I'd say so. You got your sort of your rack tools and all the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, a lot of it is tar pit and stuff. So I played a game in 7th with my mate Dave, who no doubt will appear on the channel at some point. He's got a Death Guard army, so he, because he's that kind of guy, brings your Land Raider. What's it? The Spartan, is it? The one with all the
Spartan assault tank.
It's a Land Raider version. It's got a huge front bit. That
transports
loads of dudes.
Transports about 7,000 troops.
Something like that. Yeah. He's brought one of them. He's brought Imperial Knight. He's brought Mortarion because he's that guy.
Oh, they're bringing 30k stuff.
Yeah. He brought everything.
Right.
Because
well,
that's what Dave King is all about.
I don't know Dave. Hi Dave.
No, you will.
Okay.
He is the epitome of that guy. Yeah, I don't say that lightly either. He's disgraceful, and has the cheek, the gall, to slag me off and say that I'm bending rules and all sorts of stuff. So he is horrendous. But so anyway, he brings Mortarion because why don't you in a 1500 point list?
And the Spartan and the Imperial Knight.
And the Imperial Knight. And
did he have anything else?
Attack squad or something.
Okay.
However, Mortarion ended up getting tar pitted by 2 squads of racks for the entire game. So, good job, Rax. Nice one. I think he managed to kill the last rack in the final turn of the game.
Okay.
So, completely just took it out and, removed him from the game. So, happy days. But, that's what they're good at doing.
Yes.
They're quite resilient. They've got their, not to feel no pain anymore. But, they've still got those sort of, vulnerable saves. So, yeah, they're really good at sort of, just slowing stuff down that you want to slow down. So, yeah. Also got 5 warriors. So again, we spoke earlier about just a little throwaway squad. If you need to keep a home deployment zone objective or whatever. They did me a right old worldie in that last game because they just sat on objective 5 for the whole game. Every card I pulled, secure objective 5. Secure objective 5. I was like, yes.
Nice when it goes like that, isn't it?
Exactly. It was 24-12 in the end. I'd just like to remind Sean of that.
I know he wanted that on camera as well.
24-12.
The apprentice remains the apprentice.
Know your place, Sean. Yeah, so, I mean, he was 1 model off being tabled. 1 model.
I didn't know that part. 1
little Terminator.
I know he was questioning your line of sight rules and such.
Yeah, what it was, right, is that obviously the Venoms can now move, I think, 16, something like that. So I just moved it around this side of the building. The building was about 8 inches wide.
Yeah. So
I was like, I'll move it around this side and then I can shoot that. Happy days. But then he starts trapping off, going, oh, you can't actually see it. I was like, mate, really? It's there, What's your problem? What's your issue? It's got an additional 8 inches I could move this if I wanted it to. But he started, trapping off and, doing what he does. And, moaning about my line of sight. He photographed it.
He did?
Photographed it and uploaded it to our little hobby forum, little group.
Actually, I might be able to put it on there. I might be able to put it on this. Whilst we talk about it, I might be able to show you and we can see what YouTube thinks.
Yeah.
My 38 subscribers as it is of tonight.
It's a big crowd.
Wow. I love all of you so far, but I just want some more.
Big crowd.
I'm greedy. I do love everyone who's already subscribed, clearly.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if we were top table at a big game, big tournament or whatever, yeah, fine, call me out on that because I didn't move it far enough or whatever, despite the fact I was meant to. But 2 mates having a mess about over a couple of beers, get a grip, Sean. Get a grip.
You've seen, mate. You've seen what happens to Anakin.
This is it. I've got to be careful. Yeah. You start slaughtering my children.
Yeah. The women and children too.
Keep on to keep an eye on them. Yeah. But yeah, so Racks, happy days.
Done Racks, we're on.
Yeah, get rid of Racks. Warriors. And then another 10 warriors in the Raider, or the not Raider, Void Reaper. Really, really good in 7th because you could get the Splinter Racks.
Yes.
Cheap, which twin linked to all the Splinter weapons that were in it. So savage. They just float about.
All poison stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, all poison. Splinter rifles in there, all twin linked. All rapid fire. You drop your Raider in, twin link everything to death. Easy, happy days. Splinter X in the index book don't exist, so
gone,
vanished. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, so I'd imagine they'll probably make a return in the book and the codex when it comes out. We shall see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Splinter X were kind of an auto include, certainly for me. You know, if you're going to twin link everything, it's quite cheap. What's that? Sold. You know, if you're going to put if you're going to put 10 warriors in there with rapid fire splinter weapons, yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. It makes sense for the points value that it was, for the points cost that it was.
Definitely. So yeah, and again they'll just sort of float about, just taking objectives and all the rest of it. You know, just trying to avoid in the old game, you know, any sort of template weapons or anything, because otherwise they'd just burn and die horribly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, 10 warriors mooching about. Never normally get out the transport, to be honest. Never had to, just stay on my tray on a stool next to the table. But yeah, so Raider and the warriors have had a bit of a points drop. So 10 warriors in old money, 120.
Right.
With a splinter cannon and a blaster. In new money, only 100. So a 20-point drop. So that's one of my Dark Lances paid for.
Yeah.
Scourges. And then yeah, the Raider. The Raider's gone up in price. I think most vehicles have.
Yeah, I think so. Well, which kind of goes hand in hand with their newfound survivability. Yeah. So it does kind of make sense in my mind.
They were 75 with the Splinter X, but now 95 without Splinter X.
So that Lance you just paid for.
So Dark Lance is now, you know, taken away. Yes. So the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. So yeah, bad times. But yeah, so that's gone up by 20. The last two models, which I don't like, but they're a bit airbrushy. I don't like them.
But yeah, but they're done well.
They let the side down, I think. The infantry and the Venoms I really love. But
do you think you'll replace these then? Well, we'll tell you what they are. You know what they are from your 7th list.
Yeah.
Because the list's the same.
It's the same.
It's the exact same.
I'm just
list.
changing some stuff about, you know. I'll have someone moaning like Dave King or Sean will start moaning about WYSIWYG or something. They have all got Dark Lances, just deal with it. Yeah. You know.
That's no doubt. Test before you buy.
Exactly. Yeah. Dave King's one of them. Going back to him, right? He's got no shame. He's got no soul. I don't know he sleep as an eye, right? He had a...
What I've done here is I've given Martin a platform.
Yeah, to slag my mates off. I do love you all, really. I don't slag you all off. But yeah, Dave King, he is the epitome of the Coke can drop pod. I'm gonna play test it, and I'm gonna see if I can, just get on with drop pods and just use Coke cans. And
hop over to VisiCast, check out Worst 40k Player.
Him.
And then you'll see what we're on about. There's 3, I think, so far in the series for Worst 40k Player.
One's about Dave. One's about Sean.
There's no one specific.
Definitely not.
It's not about anyone specific, Gwyn. Go over, check out the series, look at the videos. I loved making those with John. I was involved in the last 2. He did the first one on his own. I think they're an amazing series. I'm going to say that. I'm very biased. I think they're quite funny. I think if you've played any degree of 40k, you probably better relate to at least part of one of those videos. Have a look at them. I think they're good.
Yeah, Dave King is one fedora away from being that dude. Definitely. I love you all, but no, I'm only playing.
Right, so the 2 models.
Anyway,
we keep talking. This is going to be a huge video. I think it's going to be really good because it's quite fun.
Yeah, well, yeah. So yeah, Razor Wing Jet Fighter.
Yep.
Old money 155, new money 130.
Okay.
So a bit of a drop.
That was 130 in English.
130, sorry.
For the rest of you.
So yeah, 130. So a drop of 25. Not sure why.
Okay.
But you know, strange. A lot more survivable than they were. Old money. Used to get shot down all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, could never keep them alive. It was useless. It was pointless. The only reason it got picked because I had it painted, and you know, that was that. But yeah, it's a lot more survivable now, a lot more fun. And yeah, and then a Void Raven. The Void Raven will be in again because it's painted and I'm lazy.
It is very pretty. I'll show you pictures of it. Hopefully, I think it's very pretty, and it is a bit airbrush heavy. Which I know for someone who is as much of a perfectionist as you are, is perhaps not the way to go. Yeah. But it looks stunning, I think.
It's alright, I mean...
It's there, if you can see it.
There.
It's just so pretty.
Yeah, I mean, for a sort of a centrepiece of an army, it's alright, but, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, that's obviously freed me up some points.
Yeah, so in the old terms, that was how many points in total?
About 1750.
Okay. And in new money?
1572.
So it's quite a big difference.
Big old
so whereas
saving.
Bland noticed a massive increase in points, I say massive, quite the increase in points across the board, Riptide especially have taken a right old hit in points, you've lost a couple of hundred near enough.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, all that stuff that I've got in my case that I thought, I can't be bothered to paint it because, you know, I only play, you know, sort of low level point games or whatever. Now I'm sitting there thinking, well, actually, yeah, I could finish painting up, you know, those mandrakes. I could finish up painting that other squad of warriors.
You need to paint those mandrakes.
Mandrake, yeah, metal.
I know.
Metal ones as well.
Of course, no one likes Finecast.
No one wants
GW,
Finecast.
if you're watching, and you're probably not, no one likes Finecast. No one.
No one. So yeah, metal mandrakes. I'll chuck my, you know, finish them off, chuck them on, you know, just for a bit of. And again, you know, I mean, I've not really read the rules from them, but again, you know, based solely on the models, you know, the models are really nice.
Yes.
Something completely different from the rest of the army.
Yeah.
You know, because it's all sort of cabal heavy.
And I think actually you could do them justice with your brush.
Well, you never know. You know, I'll give them a go. So I tried to do one with the glowing runes and stuff inside the skin. It just didn't work. It looked horrendous. So I'd have to think of a different way of doing them. But you know, I think it's just something completely different. Whereas, you know, my list is all sort of cabal mainly with the ranks.
It looks good though.
Yeah, so you know, and the Dark Eldar was meant to be like, you know, sort of raiding parties and all this sort of stuff.
Yes.
So you'd expect to see different stuff. You know, so you know, sort of weird mandrakes and weird gribbly stuff from the homunculus covens and stuff. So yeah, everyone coming together to go and have a bit of a party.
Yeah.
Real space.
Bit of an evil party.
Yeah, it's a bit of a messed up party.
So we've freed up a few hundred points. So are you literally just grabbing stuff from your case that you're chucking in, like mandrakes and such, or is there anything specific you think you might want to add now with a new book?
I think I may look at adding, and again, just because it's cool, chuck in Lilith Hesperax in.
Yes!
Because,
my favourite Dark Eldar character.
Yeah, she is fantastic, and you know, sort of the fluff and all the rest of it behind her, you know, you read her backstory and you think, wow, that is amazing. You know, it's so well written, and the rules are horrendous. You know, you look at it and think, what? You know, it's like, even got a stats line for the barbs in her hair. You know, so that's just cool. So yeah, if I can work out some sort of way of sort of having her as a you know, delivery system for her, rather than just having her foot slogging across the board.
Perhaps with a squad of witches or something as well, just
potentially maybe. Yeah, yeah. You've got the
like some blood brides or something would be cool.
Yeah, yeah, that'd work. That'd work. Or maybe chuck her in a raider. So I've got another raider that I can use. Chuck her in a raider with the incubi. Is a potential. Who knows? Again, you know, if you've got any advice, stick them in the comments.
So Martin sounds like he's not sold on what he's going to add with the new index into his new list. So if you think of anything that you think he could add in, because we're going to go for probably 2k-ish, I'd imagine, because that seems to be the benchmark now. Yeah. Give us a shout, let us know either on the Facebook page or comment on the video, give him some ideas, help him out. Otherwise, we're pretty much done on the list front. So what we'll do is we'll talk about a couple of changes to their rules. Because Power from Pain has had a big change, and combat drugs have had quite a big change as well. I think that's quite important for Dark Eldar, because Power from Pain now I think is much better than it used to be. Yeah, definitely. I mean, just trying to find the table. You know, before, I don't think anything had happened until turn 2. Yes, turn 2 was when it started, wasn't it? Yeah. You know, and for those who don't know, you know, the Power from Pain, if you're watching, you haven't got a clue what we're talking about. The Dark Eldar, you know, in their backstory, you know, they sort of feed off people's torment and torture. This Bland is fluff. Yeah, there's backstory and stuff, you know. So yeah, they feed off the torment of others. So you know, they get more powerful as the battles go on, and people are screaming and shouting and terrified. And all the rest of it. Yeah, it turned on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're that way inclined. So yeah, as the game goes on, you know, the Power from Pain table represents them gaining that power from people. So turn 1, you know, roll a d6 each time a model with this ability suffers a wound. On a 6, it ignores the injury and the wound is not lost. So essentially, a 6 up, feel no pain. Which can be taken against mortal wounds, which is actually quite a big deal. Definitely. So yeah, I think that was turn 2 on the last. Yeah. The last table. Second, turn 2, eager to flay, and you can re-roll the dice when determining how far a unit with this ability moves when it advances or charges. So that's really good. Yeah. The old fleet, I think it is. Kind of, yeah. Yeah, so, you know, that's from turn 2.
You know,
Wow.
so you're re-rolling charge distances.
For turn 2, we've already got some amazing bonuses, because although the first one is kind of like the old Feel No Pain, you have to remember that Feel No Pain, if the strength of the weapon was double the unit's toughness, you didn't get it.
Death, yeah.
Now, Eldar, Dark Eldar, Harlequin suffer from toughness 3 everywhere, and there's a lot of strength 6 weaponry out in the world in 7th edition, so you wouldn't get that. With the 6 up, you get that no matter what, and rerolling charge distances, as we know from the New Marine Codex and the Black Templars chapter tactics, rerolling charge distances is deemed as quite a big deal, actually, currently.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So that's really good.
Especially if you're deep striking stuff, you know, you can only do it, you know, more than 9 inches away.
Yeah.
If you're getting 2 bites of the cherry to try and get in,
Yeah,
happy days. So yeah, turn 3, Flensing Fury.
Oh, it sounds cool.
It sounds cool, doesn't it? You can add 1 to hit rolls made for a unit with this ability in the fight phase.
Big deal.
So yeah, big deal for your combat stuff. You know, your incubi, witches, yeah, that sort of stuff. You know, you're adding 1, so it's huge. And these are all accumulative as well. So you know, it don't just sort of stop on turn 1. You know, these will add up.
By turn 3, you've got all 3 of these bonuses.
Yeah, definitely. And then 4, emboldened by bloodshed. Units with this ability automatically pass morale tests. Do not roll the dice. So by turn 4, you're not going anywhere.
You're fearless, kind of.
Essentially.
Old money fearless.
Yeah, definitely. We use that a lot, don't we? Old money.
I like it.
Yeah, so
I'm going
that's
to use it a lot. I think it's the first time I've heard old money, and I'm going to probably stick with it.
And then turn 5, and then any additional turns, is Mantle of Agony. So subtract 1 from the leadership of enemy units that are within 6 inches of any units with this ability in the morale phase. So again, you know, if you've got people in combat, you know, they're, you know, not only are you getting buffed, but they're getting
debuffed.
Yeah, exactly.
And now the morale phase is such a big deal because you just lose models.
Yeah,
that's quite important.
Yeah, definitely. So you know, it just gives you a little bit extra with the you know, and they shall know no fear and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, people re-rolling this, that, and the other. So it just gives you a little bit more, you know, a little bit extra.
So yeah, I mean, on the whole, that table is, I think, better than it used to be.
Much better.
Yeah, it occurs earlier than it used to.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, I think pretty much most of the codex has power from pain.
Yes.
There's very little.
I think the homunculus coven stuff doesn't.
Yeah.
That used to be covered by in the homunculus coven's supplement.
Okay. Which you might see in the new codex, to be fair.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. I mean, they had their own power from pain table because most of the stuff was fearless anyway.
Right.
So like racks were fearless. So you know they didn't bother with the sort of the power from pain table.
Yeah.
That's for the rest of the army. So yeah, they had their own one. So you know your racks, your taloses, your grotesques, all that sort of, you know, gribbly stuff. Had their own table, which, you know, hopefully they'll put into the Dark Eldar Codex when it's released, or we'll do a supplement for it, and you know all the rest.
So that's definitely, yeah, that's definitely a cooler table, and it's auto from turn 1 off, cumulative. None of those bonuses I think are bad. None of them are game breakingly good. None of them are bad.
No.
It's definitely an improvement.
Yeah.
And then we've gone to combat drugs. So combat drugs in the old system of the game, each unit you rolled in the combat drugs table, I believe.
Yeah, those are the combat drug special rules. It tends to be any of the sort of witch cult stuff. So you know your witches, reavers, Hellions maybe.
Yeah.
I've never.
Get some Hellions in there. I've got some I can donate to you. Unbuilt 5 Hellions.
Well, yeah, I could get that.
Just because I want to see him paint them.
Gangs of Komorra box as well.
That's amazing value.
Yeah, but then it's reavers, isn't it?
Yeah, why some reavers?
There we go. Swap, sorted. There we go. Happy days. So yeah, anything sort of, you know, witch cult based, we'll get on the combat drugs thing. And interestingly, something I've just noticed, because I don't really run much witch cult stuff.
No.
In fact, there's none in there. It says here, you know, you'd normally roll a d6 and see which buff you get for each unit, but it says here you can choose.
Yeah. The only downside to choosing is if you choose each unit, you can't choose one more than once until each one's been used. So what you could do is you could pick your first unit and say pick Painbringer for +1 toughness. What you can then do is every unit from there on, if you wanted +1 toughness, you could then roll a dice. You may get it again.
Hope for a 4.
Yeah. It's like that with the Cult Mex Canticles of Omnissiah. Cult Mex Canticles of Omnissiah say you can't pick one more than once, but if you roll a d6 and you get it, then you can use it. It's the same principle. Yeah. It's a bit of a gamble, and in the Cult Mech army you can take Belisarius' Call, and he allows you +1 or -1 to your Canticles, so that helps you when you're rolling your d6 to try and get the one you want. Because like Shroud Psalm, which is +1 to your save, is incredible. And that's the one you're probably going to want more often than not now, because Belisarius has got an aura ability that allows you to twin link with your weapons, so you don't need to worry about your +1 to hit. But yeah, the combat drugs is the same. If you wanted to pick your +1 toughness or your +1 strength, and then you wanted other units to have that, you could roll a dice and get it multiple times. Equally, you could just keep picking and use each one of the 6 for the 6 different units.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got sort of, you know, a number of different witch cult units, and you wanted each one to concentrate on different things, you know, you could then sort of tactically think, well, actually, yeah, if I give these guys the extra attack, because the first thing they're going to do is going to go annihilate that unit in combat, so give them that +1 attack, or, you know, if they're a bit tougher or whatever, give them that +1 strength. You know, so you can try and sort of, you know, work it to your advantage, whereas before it was literally just straight D6s.
Yeah, other units like Scourges and Reavers, you could give them a +2 move, which makes their mobility so ridiculous that they're just going to keep out the way of whatever you don't want to be near and go and get yourself your objectives and stuff. Just for as an example. The table he's got, there's +1 attack, +1 strength, +2 move, +1 toughness, +1 weapons skill, and +2 leadership. So none of them are bad, really.
No.
And when you can pick them for the specific unit, all of them are arguably quite good.
Yeah.
And if you've got enough combat drugs units, if you've built a full witch army and you want both of your squads of Reavers to be +2 move, for example, give the first one +2 move, dish out the 5 combat drugs to your witch cult models, like witches or whatever, get back to your second squad of Reavers, give them +2 move. So you can stack it on the same unit twice if you really wanted to. Which is quite a nice, I quite like that table now, I like the fact that you can pick it.
Yeah, I think it's quite nice. Again, you know, it goes back to that fluff stuff, you know, that these guys, you know, meant to be in the arenas, they're meant to be, you know, sort of gangs and, you know, all the rest of it. So, you know, it fits, and they're meant to be using these drugs to try and enhance
they'll
themselves.
know what they're shooting up with.
Yeah, exactly. It's always good to know what you're shooting up with. Yeah, it's always handy. I'm told, but yeah. So, you know, yeah, maybe some Hellions will make the list. Yeah, they're quite quick, quite agile.
I love the models as well.
They're alright. I think there's a dude who's got some dislocated shoulders, and he's got the glaive thing.
Yeah, behind his back.
Yeah, that's all a bit odd, but I think it's the heads that don't sell it for me, the Hellions. Yeah,
they're not great.
There's some rather suspect looking dreadlocks and stuff going on.
Yeah, if it was me, so I had the box in the Gangs of Cameron stuff, so I don't have, or Comorra, or whatever, however you want to say it. So I didn't have many options. If I had options, if I was building a full Dark Eldar army, I would likely take witches, because I quite like the witches, just because I like the way they look, no other reason. And I think witch heads on them could look really cool.
Yeah, the witches have got some nice heads. Yeah, there's loads of female ones as well, which I like.
Yes.
I like that, you know, you've got some of them in there, you know, and sort of the Cabal stuff, you've still got some female Dark Eldar, or Drukhari as they are now. Still got some of those, you know, sort of female. You know, there's no sort of dominant sex or anything with the Dark Eldar. It's all, you know,
and a lot of the Eldars are the same.
Yeah, as long as you're good enough, you know, to please that Archon, he'll have you on board in the Cabal. That's what I quite, you know, quite like.
That's cool.
So yeah, Mandrakes, maybe some Hellions. I've got some more Warriors. So you know, you can't go wrong with Warriors, can you?
Yeah, but overall. It does look like the Dark Eldar have had quite a buff this edition, which I'm quite pleased with, because I like all things Eldar, including the Dark Eldar, including the Harlequins. So I like the fact that we should probably see more rounded Dark Eldar armies, because Dark Eldar was still taken in 7th, but like we said before, they were often spammed. So I like the fact now we're going to see more of this type of list, a bit of everything, perhaps not as pretty as this. A bit of everything,
commanded by a complete imbecile kind of thing.
And you can get more for your points, which is always a benefit.
So more models.
Yeah, I mean, it means watching you paint more models, which is always fun for me.
Eventually,
because I know how much patience you've got.
It's waning somewhat, you know, with 2 children now. Stressful shift patterns at work.
Look, I've done it. I have no sympathy. It was my fault. It was also your own fault. So yeah, that's that. That's what we're going to talk about so far for Dark Eldar. I think we've covered everything we need to with the new index. We've gone quite in depth into his list. This time it's not so different. Bland dropped his 2 Storm Surges and has added in some more units. Martin's is essentially the same because it's so much cheaper now. And it is so much cheaper now by a couple 100 points, so he can now add more stuff into his army. So this is where we're seeing people who have played underpower units previously perhaps being arguably rewarded to a point. You may argue because you're still spending more money in Games Workshop now, but that's where I think the balance has been brought back now. Bland's old Tau versus your old Dark Eldar, there is an auto-win situation there, unfortunately, and that's gone now completely, which I love. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing the models. I've certainly enjoyed coming and photographing them. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you liked what we've talked about. Maybe you've got your own thoughts on Dark Eldar. Maybe you've got stuff you want to tell Martin, hints, tricks, tips, combinations, anything
corrections.
Like that. Corrections.
Because I'm blither an idiot. And
any of that sort of stuff.
Standard.
We're just 2 guys sat here talking hobby because that's what we love. That's the whole point in this channel. So if you've got anything you want to say, feel free to drop it in the comments below. Feel free to like us on Facebook and comment on there and send us messages on there. I'll do everything I can to get back to you as fast as possible. I will link our Facebook page below, I will link our Instagram page below, and if you give me the link, I will link Martin's Instagram page below. It's really worth a look for his stuff. I'll post some pictures on ours as well, so you can have a look at some of the bits he's got here, but truly phenomenal work. I know you're very humble about it. Really, really good stuff. There's a reason why he has a Slayer sword, ultimately. Wonderful. So check on over, go on over to his page, check it out, give it a like, and I hope you've loved it. Now, last part. Bland did not want to do this.
Do what?
So what I decided to do in the last, I recorded Bland 2 nights ago, so that video's not out yet. It will be out when this one is, when you're watching this one.
Lots of videos out of Bland.
Yeah.
If you search hard enough on the internet.
Yeah, you have to lift your filters and restrictions.
yeah.
So in my second video, at the end of it, I was trying to come up with some sort of way of shouting more, or we're not going to shout, your kids in bed. Yeah. But I did a little more part, and I said to Martin, I said, what we'll do is every guest, we'll get them to do something like that. And he went, no, I'm not doing it. Sat there and he went, no, I'm not doing it. And at the end of the video, just as I was about to turn the camera off, he went, more! Well done, mate.
Oh, enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Really.
So what we're going to do is every guest we have on, we're going to get them to do it once, somehow. I did warn you today about this.
That's some sort of more.
Yeah, I don't know how you want to do it, a big angry growly face, or whether you want to do it...
More!
Bland, he has smashed you.
Standard.
Yeah. And then what we'll also try and do soon is get his Blood Angels on, because that's another fully painted army that you will have likely seen if you read the magazine in White Dwarf, like this one, because he's a bit of a White Dwarf whore. Aren't you?
I am.
Anyway, thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next month. See, spot on! Look at that! The magic of cinema.
Can't coach that.
No, oh yeah. Amazing. Like, comment, subscribe, we'll see you in the next one, guys.
Cheers,
Thank you
guys.
very much.